I'm Billy Kyte. I work as the Myanmar Programme Manager for the Natural Resource Governance Institute. I'm here today with Myo Thu, who is one of the leaders of the key subsidiary organisations on natural resource governance in Myanmar, EcoDev. Welcome, Myo Thu.
Hi, good morning.
So we all know that Myanmar is going through a rapid transitional phase, opening up politically and economically. And we know that being a resource-rich country, it is key that these resources are managed in a fair and sustainable way. What would you say are the key challenges for Myanmar at this moment in natural resource governance issues?
Well, the key challenge is good governance. Again, even though there has been an effort made by there's a President U Thein saying, but there is a huge bureaucratic resistance from a different direction. So that it is a question for him how he can overcome with all these challenges he has. So that's why if we cannot really improve the good governance, whatever you dig, how you make sure the rule of law in practice. So whatever EITI or whatever you set the rule, then if you cannot implement that one at the grassroots level, so people won't satisfy the outcome. So there's a challenge we have right now.
Mm-hmm. And being a member of civil society, do you find that the space is now more open, and you're able to get across what you want to get across with the government and other stakeholders? Yeah,
compared to the past, we have been working in this country for almost a decade. So of course, much better than that period, but we never satisfied too, because we wanted more space, to be able to, bring the voice of the people. That will be part of the decision-making process. But it's still a long way to go for that one.
Okay. And your experience in some of these international frameworks looking at natural resource governance issues, for instance with the EITI, how has that been for you? Has it been a positive process?
I'm very cautiously constructive to EITI. So on the other hand, I'm aware of the fact that EITI is not a silver bullet. It can solve all the problems, but that will bring the transparency. At least it's like an entry point for building the accountability later on. So that's why I welcome EITI. But again, as a person working with the people for over a decade, I'm also concerned about how that EITI, the transparency brought by the EITI can go forward to the accountability. Because as I asked the question today, so if I explain EITI to my people in the village, they will ask, well, it solved the problem of land grabbing, well, it solved the problem of water pollution, right? But EITI, to my understanding, is just a figure explaining how government receive it and, the company bear it. It is nice to know, but there's also many things need to know, how that money has been properly managed. For example, if you look at the budget government has been spending, like 24% of total budget keep going to the military expenditure. Even though we can be audited or we can be accounted that one internationally, but if government don't change their decision to reduce that money going to the military and spending more on the education health, so what does it mean for, by EITI report? So there's a question also we have in mind,
Okay. And have you found that the expectations levels have had to be managed in terms of what people at the community level expect from something like the EITI?
Well, expectation is so huge because we have been close for over 5 decades. So that's why, a lot of expectation. But again, if we could not manage this expectation, our democratic reform is also questionable, whether it will be falling back, whether we can move forward. That's why as a civil society organization, from the very forward-looking approach, I see we are looking at EITI, whether it can provide space for bringing everybody together to discuss about all these outstanding issues around the resource extractions and management over. So if we are able to do that, it will be okay. That will be more accountable to reduce suffering among the public. That's the best hope we have.
Okay. And moving away from the EITI for a moment, what would you say are the kind of the key issues going forward in the future for Myanmar in terms of extractive industry governance issues? Where do you see the kind of various flashpoints potentially in the future and the challenge?
Well, you know, the big issue is that how the regional player, like subnational level, they are also ready to be part of the EITI project, because their understanding on EITI is very limited. Also, they are quite skeptical about all these movements. You know, when our civil society group promote the awareness raising about EITI at the local level, we face a resistance, or we face we are controlled by these local authority. That's why how central government, really work with the regional government, that smoothing of the EITI process at the local level. We are still not clear at that one.
Myo Thu, thank you so much.
So thank you very much.